Hello, it's nearly the middle of February and it started to warm up a little bit and the garden is getting on its way and I'm getting very excited. I've been sowing all sorts of seeds. Now what I'm going to sow today are some more brassicas. Now I've got here some cabbages. I've got Primo, which are here, which I've been using for quite a few years. And they're still germinating. Apparently I should have sown them by 2012, 2019 at the moment, and they're still coming up, they're still growing. So I'm going to still keep sowing them. Hopefully it'll be nice if I can actually finish them this year. I've also got some Brukale, Petit Posy, flower sprouts, Kalettes, same thing. So these I am still harvesting, the ones I sowed last year. So they are absolutely fabulous. They grew unbelievably well last year and we still keep having them and they are just fabulous. And again here I've got a few seeds I'm just trying to finish up, and these are broccoli calabrese. These are called matsuri. And again, last year, this did absolutely brilliantly. It was amazing, lovely big heads on the calabrese. And when you'd cut the top bit off, then little bits started coming, excuse me, out from the side. Now, all of these are going to be sown in exactly the same way. Whether you've got cauliflowers, broccoli, any brassicas will need to be sown in exactly the same way. So I'm going to just show you how to sow one of these, and then when I come across some more next month to sow, I'm not going to show you how I'm going to do those because again they'll be exactly the same, but I will put them on my blog as to which varieties I have sown, so you will still see. And then you'll see them as I give you updates. So let me show you how to sow the rest of your brassicas. So I've got one of my little seed trays here. I am going to sow one variety in each section, so I will get another tray and do the other ones, but let me just show you one. So just get your seed tray, fill it with some multi-purpose compost, and then gently pat it down. Now, if your compost is dry, like mine is, then what I would suggest you do is you give it a little bit of a water before you sow the seeds. Just like that. Now, it will sit on the top of the compost just for a little while, but that's just because the compost is really dry. If your compost is slightly damp, then it will sink through much quicker. Now don't sow the seeds until all of the water has gone through. Now most brassica seeds look exactly the same, so they could vary ever so slightly in colour, but they are small little brown balls. Now these are the Brukale. Actually, you know what, I'm going to sow all of those because it's always good to use up the packets, especially when you've had them a couple of years. So these are the Brukale seeds. As you can see, they're little dark little brown balls, and all I'm going to do is just very carefully sprinkle them on top of the damp compost, just like that. If some of them fall too close to each other, then that's absolutely fine, don't worry about that. If you position them, it was going to take you ages. Now all you need to do next is you just need to cover them with just a little bit more compost. And have that bit. Just level it off, just like that. And then make sure that you label them properly, because all brassica seedlings, when they first start to come up, look exactly the same, and it's only when they get halfway through their life that they actually look different. So make sure that you label them correctly. So I will carry on and I will do the other ones. Now what you need to do is, once you've sown them, keep them in the greenhouse if you have a greenhouse. If you don't have a greenhouse, then you can put them on a nice sunny windowsill inside the house, and they should be very happy to germinate there. Just make sure that they're as close to the window as you can possibly get them, because otherwise, if they're stretching for the light, then you'll end up with long spindly seedlings, which won't be very good. So make sure that you just sort of turn the seed tray or the pot that they're in round every couple of days, and then they should grow straight. Now I'm going to put a propagator lid on top of them just to give them an extra little bit of warmth, and hopefully in about a week, 10 days maybe, they should start popping through the soil and starting to germinate, which will be fabulous. The other ones that I sowed a little while ago, they germinated really quickly, which was fab. That was the Brussels sprouts, which now look like this. Now look like this. They're actually getting their first set of proper leaves, so that's really good. So I can sort of, if they take a little while, I can show the tray to them and go, come on, this is what you're supposed to look like. So anyway, so yes, hopefully very soon we'll have lots more coming up. Lots is germinating, which is great. So the growing season is definitely underway. Well, I hope that you found what I've shown you useful, and if you haven't tried the flower sprouts before, the Brukale or Kalettes, whatever they're called where you live, I really do recommend that you do give them a go. They're a cross between Brussels sprouts and kale, so they grow like a Brussels sprout up a stem, a big fat stem, and you just pull them off. But instead of being closed like a Brussels sprout is, they're open like a flower. And all you need to do is saute them for about 5 minutes with a little bit of onion and garlic is really nice. And or you could boil them for just a few minutes, about 3 minutes is all you really need to boil them for. But I think sauteing them is much nicer. Well, please do give them a go, and any brassicas, remember, just sow in exactly the same way. Well, I hope you found what I've shown you useful, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.